house, nor no girl, nor no car. Stand firm in my life, nothing no budget. From a barn, me and you are par. Movie, I'm a princess. Movie, I'm a dan. First lady in my life, a girl of you understand. Special dedication to the big woman. From your love, your mama make me see your hand. Supposed to blank for your mama, light up for your mama. Selector, you better pull up the one you for your mama. Proud of your mama, sing loud for your mama. Yeah, I make sure know you're happy. She bring you come here. From your heart, tell me sing this one. From your love, your mama like this man. There's no one like my mama, no. Mama never had it easy at times. Sometimes she cry. Many days I don't know how we survive. She said, no worry, it will be fine. We held on cause of mama's teachings. And in the scripture she placed her beliefs in. Real thing, if I never mama, I wouldn't believe it. Supposed to blank for your mama, light up for your mama. Selector, you better pull up the one you for your mama. Proud of your mama, sing loud for your mama. Yeah, I make sure know you're happy. She bring you come here. From your heart, tell me sing this one. From your love, your mama like this man. There's no one like my mama, no. Hey yo, after my mama this year, after my mama this year, we gave my first and my last, yes, all of this. After my mama this year, after my mama this, anything you want, get it, I promise. So anything you want, anything at all, anything you need, my mother pray to God. And this year is a sunflower. Supposed to blank for your mama, light up for your mama. Selector, you better pull up the one for your mama. Proud of your mama, sing loud for your mama. Yeah, I make you know you're happy. She bring you come here. From your heart, tell me sing one. From your love, mama like this man. Yeah, no one like my mama. She brings me home, yeah. Oh, she the big sun, no, yeah.
Grand Risings, everybody. Welcome to the Blacknificent show here on the Thursday. Wow, I tell you something. This time is running so quick, you know. So quick. I'm telling you. I just think to myself, where does the days go? Where does the days go? Huh? My word. 7 days gone so quick. And we're just skimming through this year here. Highlight of this morning. Rose up this morning, and it's a beautiful, bright, clear day. I don't know if you felt the shift. You felt the shift today. You know, everything just seemed to be that little bit lighter. That little bit lighter. Huh? Me no know. Something's happening around here, isn't there? I know that there's something happening, right? But it's one of those things that it just felt. For me, it felt it was more. I don't know. The whole of my whole being just felt a shift, you know. And then obviously going through my meditations this morning. And everything just seemed to be so much calmer today, you know, or this risings anyway. I don't know why, but I haven't been able to sleep too well for the past, I would say few months to be honest, right? But in saying that, in the last few days, everything has just been nice, you know, nice. I'm exhausted at the end of the day, exhausted at the end of the day, and then I'm just sleeping right through the night, whatever position I'm in. Whatever position I'm in, I'm just finding myself just being able to sleep right through the night. So in saying that, we have to look at what's happening around us as well. What's why is it that there's a shift? Right, highlighted again this morning in some of the studies there that we are going through this change of planetary positioning, and we are due to um, experience an eclipse as well. So there will be a change of energy forces from the other planets in the universe, and yes, it will affect us as the Earth if we allow and give acknowledgement to that, which is, and if that is the way how things are, then that is the way things are. I want to give a shout out to a person that I met some time ago now. Well, must be over 12 years now. Must be over 12 years ago. Tahir, right? Tahir Akim. I want to say, thanks for reaching out. And I look forward to that message that you sent to me, that is looking to see how we can make a connection there. So I give a shout out to him, Tahir Akim, there, and see how we can develop a project between us in some way or another. Also, I want to give a shout out to SG Vibes, right? look like we're both busting the finishing line at the same time. I'm just a little bit ahead of you. I'm a little bit ahead of you, but we're in the same cycle. We're in the same cycle. So, you know, yeah, bless upon your earth strong. So yeah, man, SG vibes. Right, that's all. Edification. I want to give obviously a shout out to all the management team here who still is steering the Galaxy family in the right direction. I want to also give a shout out to all the presenters here on the Galaxy as we look to improve, constant and never ending improvement, constant and never ending improvement, right? Also, would like to give a shout out to all the contributors as well, all the listeners, all the silent listeners that are out there, the viewers as well, because I'm putting it out as well that I'm doing my shows live on Facebooks, and I'm also doing a show live on the YouTube. So this show you can actually go and view and interact as well through the chat room, which is available on those platforms as well, and also, as the usual lines are open, the phone line for the studio, which is 0203 289 6504, and also the text line or the WhatsApp, whichever way you want to use it, which is 079 47479 219. We are here for you, the Galaxy family, right here, right now, right? The change, my word. We have to embrace and have to be aware, right? Just like how the planet has its movements, the planet is having its movements, we have our movements as well. As much as what the planet is being pulled and pushed with its magnetic forces in relation to all the planets of the universe, we are also being pushed with those movements as well. Mainly because we are organs and minerals make up to make us as human beings. So therefore, what affects the Earth or the planet is going to affect us. It will affect us. We are in tune with the planet, right? Well, let me tell you something now. Let me tell you something as well. As much as what we would like to believe, as much as what we would like to believe that we are the superhumans. We are asking of ourselves, right, to be reconnected with our abilities, our human abilities, right? These are not no nothing unusual. These are not nothing that we know what anyone can do. In fact, anyone can do, right? If we allow ourselves to be attuned to our planetary um, um, position of where we are and how and what we where we are actually living in these planets, right? The reason why I'm saying that is because we have a total and absolute disconnect right now from where and who we are, right? And that's it. The reason why I say that, the reason why I say that is because it's mainly because you, right, are still searching, searching and not finding, right? But yet there are those who live naturally. They live naturally, right, with the planet. They live naturally and communicate with the animals, just like how some of us have our domesticated animals, right? They live naturally. So why is it that we are so disconnected? It's only because we are not allowing ourselves to be in communication. There's a there's well, say little puppy. It was he's she's grown a little bit now, but there was a puppy, right? And every morning, every time the puppy saw me come out, it come running up, all excited about life, and and like, and I'm looking at this puppy, greet the puppy, greet the puppy, right? And the puppy's still excited about this and da, da, da. And all I can imagine is that this puppy is communicating in whichever way that it can, right? And then we communicate in whatever way we can with the animal, and then we come to a agreement or understanding of what is being said, and then the puppy will learn how to communicate with you. We we to this planet are like the puppy. The planet is constantly communicating with us. Why is it that I can go to any form of body of water, right? And I feel that hypnotic experience of just wanting to just stare. Why is it that I feel at peace and calm just there listening to the waves? Why is it that I could go into like a shower or a bath, and then all of a sudden my my creativity, my creative factors are ignited. The amount of ideas that come to my head, the clarity, all because I'm just standing around water. Some of us, it could just be the sun, daylight. I love like being in the daylight. I love it. Right? When I was younger, boy, I, it was a race between me and the white man who would be taking their top off to get the sun onto the body. And that's the truth. That's the truth. You understand? So I've learned a very long time ago, right, how I can actually attune myself to the planet because I appreciated what the planets were actually giving to me: energy, strength, warmth, power. Yeah. But the thing is that I had to learn also that as much as we love the heat and the sun and the daylight, we need to embrace the other side of the moon, the magnetic forces of the moon and the tidal changes, right? Because that is what is enabling the planet to rotate. Or else, if the planet Earth did not rotate, what would happen? One side would be absolutely roasting and barren, and then the other side would be dark and cold and frozen. But no, what is doing the Earth is rotating in its orbital circumferences around the universe, or through and around the universe, and then rotating on its own axis as well, right? It is doing all of that to maintain an equilibrium, throughout the whole of this planet Earth. But we are still questioning the existence of the planet that we are actually residing on. We are still uh, pushing ourselves back with antiquated types of ideas of flat Earth, right? Time, and what's the word again? Time and quantum physics. Yes, time and quantum physics. Linear universe existence. Yet we are still struggling just to to feed ourselves from the abundance of what the earth is actually providing for us. We are allowing the systems to dictate who eats, who drinks waters, who survives. We are allowing the system to do that, in preference to say, let's see what the planet Earth will give to us if we nurture it. If the planet Earth stops giving to us, then that is our fate. But oh no, oh no. We are the ones, we are the ones who are struggling, because why? We have no real connectivity with what is happening in this earth. Let me just play this little piece here for you, just to try and give you a taste of what is.
they'll they'll make a bird sound, and they're talking to the bird, and the bird will show you where the honey is. What? So you saw the pictures. They're ripped, back muscles, six packs. The kids have six packs. So we're in a cave. We wake up. There's another cave, and you see, oh, there's people in that cave. No, they're baboons, and they're pointing at us. They're pointing. They're like, look, they're coming. So I'm like, this shit is crazy. We're hunting baboons. They're like, there's tons of meat on them. We're gonna think about like running again. I can't run at top speed for hours. I'm like, what's going on? We've been running for 5 hours. You guys aren't sweating. What the fuck? And they don't get tired, and then they'll just start digging a hole and drink like a handful of brown water, and that's enough for them. And they're telling the translator, this motherfucker looks like he never caught anything in his life. And he's like, he hasn't. Go, he gets his food from supermarkets. What's that? They hunt the food for, dude, these motherfuckers are so in tune with nature that they'll make a bird sound, and they're talking to the bird, and the bird will show you where the honey is. What? So you saw the pictures. They're ripped back muscles.
Yeah. Yeah, you see? That is the extent of how some of us, and I say us as human beings, have learned how to be part of the planet, be with the planet, to have those so-called superhuman abilities, right? You heard what the man said? He could run full speed, right, for hours. Run full speed for hours, right? I don't get tired. Don't even broke a sweat. Some of us find it difficult to even walk up a flight of stairs. To walk up a flight of stairs, some of us are struggling to even do that. That is what you call madness. That is what you call absolute madness. How can you be struggling to walk up a pair of stairs? Meanwhile, my man, my woman over there, right, who's in the 80s and 90s, are working in the field. They're working in the field. You understand? To provide food for their family. And you are struggling to walk up the stairs. How dare you? How dare you turn around and feel sorry for yourself? How dare you disrespect your birthright as being a human being? How dare you give up on life when life is such a gift? And there's so many of you who have just squandered it, or are squandering it. For years and years and years, we here on the galaxy of Fui have spoken, we have shown, we've even taken you to those who can highlight and heal the sickness and disease that you have created within yourself. We have done that here on the galaxy of Net and .com of the past. We have done that. And yet you still repeat the same foolishness over and over and over again. Why do you do it? Why do you do it to yourselves? Why do you do it? The change that you're feeling right now is the change that is required for you to live your new found energetic life. If you ignore the call, then that's down to you. Not a problem. That is not a problem. Ignore the call. Why? Because it is your choice. You have free will. You have freedom of choice. Good morning, caller.
Greetings and Grand Rising Day.
Greetings. And how are you, my sister?
Brother Aston. Greetings. We give thanks for Galaxy of Theory, the de-brainwashing station.
You know that, innit?
The de-brainwashing wave. The de-brainwashing piece of engineering that the brothers are able to perform and the sisters in order for the broadcast to be universal. And I say universal because it's ascending and descending into the realms of the realms, into the universe, overstanding and innerstanding.
Definitely.
Yes?
Yes.
And as Galaxy is a de-brainwashing station, and we are learning to de-brainwash ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And as I listen, we say, praises be to Jerastari. We give thanks for the raw energy, the sun. It's all things, today's day in some of the cultures of Africa. They still acknowledge the cosmology and what today,
what the significance of today, yes.
The significance of today, and they would not be reflecting on as today, but in the order of how the recordings were able to have been kept and the practice was able to be retrieved. Because it's the retrieving of the practice from Kofarin, and therefore would be able to analyze where in the heavens what is located, the location and of the stars or the moon, the sun. So we give thanks. So we say praises to Orisha.
Yeah, man. I mean, to put some meat on that, right? You have to realize that each planet has its own magnetic forces, right? And its own energy forces. And each one of them is like we are all in a big mixing pot, right? And one is operating against another, and that is what's keeping the whole universe or solar system within its parameters, and it moves within that mixture of energies and forces. Yeah. Does the planet remain in its same status or same position? No, it doesn't. Everything is a moving energetic force. So even this moment, the next moment after that, this planet has never been in that position before. We have never experienced that before. Right? The seasonal changes, as you know, they're changing all the time because they're saying, but wait, isn't the winter a bit late this year? No, it's that you are late in catching up with what's happening in the planet. That's what's happening. Yeah, there's changes.
So we give thanks. We say Hashem Bodum. And it depends on what you've stated. It depends, as I say when I brought this into reference, and as you expand upon it. It depends on which calendar period one is dealing with.
Right.
But I don't even want to go there because we are under the Gregorian calendar. We are under the Christendom. Because Christendom is where Christianity we practice. Because in the teaching in Jamaica, they teach us about Christendom. I don't hear many people speak about it, but we learn that. So when I speak about this to ones ask me, so what is that? Christendom practices is a kingdom of, it's called Christendom. So the whole of Europe is Christendom.
Yeah,
yes,
the kingdom under the Christ.
Christendom. Yes, Christendom. And so we were born under this belief system that we should, this belief, as I say, Christendom, yes, is Christendom is an administration, I would say, fairly, put it in its right context, and so we practice Christianity, and those who are born underneath it, that's what it is. But and then as we evolve, then Islam came, because Islam was not there in the Caribbean when I was growing up. We didn't, I don't want to talk about religion, but in terms
wait, just a moment. Let me just pause you for a second there. We have to talk about that, because it is one of those things that has been influential in our development and evolvement to who we are right now. So we have to talk about that, whether it is positive or negative. Yeah?
Yes, I hear you, brother, but I don't want to digress. I just want to stay inside of what I want to talk about.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, my sister.
Oftentimes, I hear the word system. All of a sudden, it's been gravely used. The system. But I remember, and I asked, what is the system you're referring to? So you use the word system, and we are Galaxy is a debrainwashing station, and we are learning, and depends on our home and how the parents brought us up, and how the educational system, what we went into, even the system, as I said, was the educational institutions. We're going to put it in the right context. I know during the studies of schooling that a system is developed, and you can see the real system. A system is associated with a project that you build, and you can physically see the system working. There's so many different forms of systems. However, what is now being used a lot, and I think it's through the educational institution, has removed the factual evidence and replace it with the system, the word system. So the youths are growing up and they're listening to what we're talking about, but we are not giving a lot of strong references. Yes, as you say, it's the system. We talk about that it's the system. What is so good is that if we could say precisely these names of the companies, these names of these organizations, then what we are associating as system, call them out. I know it's a lot of work. We need to call them out, because we don't want nobody to hide in them. If it's in the borough, of Kensington, with the business what is there, the stately home that is there, because a lot of this was done on the stately home, inside the stately home. If like Tate and Lye, you can go back and look at many Tylers. You can go Tate and Lye of one called Tyler. You can go looking at the banking. I was passing some place and I saw where there's a plot there. Somewhere going through Lambeth, going down, and I'm looking, because I like to notice things, and there's a plot that says something about Lambeth Bank. There was something there, I don't know, and it goes into like 18 something, whatever, but that's not there at that, but there's something there, like a stone representing what it is, yes? You have the different forms of, you have the geographical society, for instance, you have the archaeological society, all this are medicinal society, and we have to break them down and research and name out what they are and how they are and so forth, because all of it fits. They're talking about the racism, yes? They sit in those places. These courtside who went into other lands, and to talk about the water, when you go by the water, or great it is, yes? You were talking about it and how you feel and the energy, and how they control that. When they went out there, yes, as the doctrine, so what doctrine you're coming with now? That's what the elders would say. they teach us about this doctrine thing. Call it into that doctrine, and that doctrine is, you call it, what is it that I come with now, I'm talking about growing up in Jamaica. They talk about doctrine and listening to people. What doctrine them I come with? Them coming with the white man doctrine, European doctrine mix up. You know what I mean? So you have to ask questions. So what I am really coming, as we're a de-brainwashing station and the youths are growing and they're listening and they're coming for nurturing and clarity to heal up the brain, to heal up the minds, mothers and fathers, they're coming. I'm not talking about, especially in we're talking about us, the diaspora, because I look at things as in reality terms, yes? Realistic terms, okay? And so when we are de-brainwashing, we have to really pull up ourselves. Did I, and try to correct ourselves and name it out. And it takes a lot of research. Name them out. The schooling system, what schools down there, because we want to go back as far as we can go. We are capable of going back. We must, as much as we can, as much as we're capable of doing, and yes, it is very important. And there is so many that is covered under this so-called system. So the system. So now when there's a development and there's a project and you're working on your physics and your chemistry, you're doing the math, because the math sits in it to get to the draft. You have to draft up whatever you're drafting with mathematics in the chemistry or the physics or so forth, yes, and the geometry. You have to draft it up. So when you begin to build on the project starting from a point, aim and objective, building on it, and it becomes into being now, where you manufacture, create. What do we then call it?
Yes, right. What we call that? We call that.
Well, what do we call it then?
We call it our evolvement. Evolvement, right?
The what?
Evolvement, right? Because not evolution, evolvement, right?
Oh, evolvement,
right? Because we can never stand still. We are inventors. We have if you give us a problem or something that we have to figure out, we figure it out. We develop. This is why scientific developments have been stolen regularly from the mouths of those inventors that have nothing. But yet they were able to figure out the world's toughest conundrums, the world's hardest problems that they have created, and we have been able to resolve the majority of the world's issues, but they will never give us any acknowledgement of it. But it's not the acknowledgement, it's the fact that we have found a solution. They bring a warlike disease, right? And they call it their virus. They even told you that it was developed in China. Well, this is the story that they're telling you. They said that it was developed in America and it was taken from America to China, and China had a accident and then released it out, right? Basically, yeah. But the fact is that they never knew how to actually solve that. So what they did was they tried experimental ways of curing it, and then they wiped out massive swathes of people around the planet. They're not going to be held accountable for that, because they were saving the planet. So they have that as collateral damage. Meanwhile, Madagascar, they found a natural way of how you could boost your immune system and eradicate that virus in a very short time, but they wouldn't give it acknowledgement, and even now they still wouldn't even give it acknowledgement. Crazy. You understand?
Right.
The planet will protect those who are protecting them. Yeah? Those who are protecting the planet will be protected by the planet. Yeah? You understand? But we naturally evolve. This is why our race, as black people, are thriving. Their race, with their backward and self-genocidal lifestyle choices, are imploding and rapidly wiping themselves out. But they want to take everybody else with them.
I hear you, brother. And one of the things that you mentioned when I asked you, then what do you call it? And the word you mentioned, what would you then call what is then being created through the project, through the engineering, the chemistry, the maths, the fullness of it, and you say it's evolvement. And the evolvement itself, you in the syllable form of it, you can see how it's broken. Evolvement, the ment, that is that comes and attacks that word, that word evolve, and the ment. Yes?
That's right. That's right. And the thing
suffixes, prefixes, anyway, one of either are suffixes, prefixes, yes? But the word evolve, the word evolvement, you can see the word evolve in it, and you say, did you use the word evolution?
Right, evolution derives from.
That's right. So you did use.
Right. So, but we're not deriving from. We are developing towards.
Yes, and you use that. So you can see the word evolve. It's still there somewhere, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it still sits there somewhere. And the shun, again, the shun, prefix, suffixes, which it's either way, right? And it became at the point of coming into being. And then you went on to speak about the medical disease and speak about the China and and in it, what I surmise from what you've really brought into this conversation, again, that thing that they say, as you say, created, and what is it a system? What when it come into being, and then associated in the final stage with words that is of confusion. But it also comes through the same sets of mathematics, chemistry, physics, you name it, whichever way it was created and it was deployed. Yes?
Yeah.
Take flight.
That's right.
Flight, is it? Flight, movement, whichever way.
Yeah. But this
all sorts of transformation, brother. Hold on. And then inside of that, with what took place, we can then apply maths and science to it inside the deeper maths.
Yes.
Because it's a wipe out the whole of humans. And that is like a vector movement. And beyond that, there is more deeper mathematics. And, as when you look on the mechanism, when you look at the vector, you can see these equipment that we use daily and how it moves and how it's clinched. And all of that is sitting right inside the axle. Because even that I've got an axle, like a wrench has got an axle, tires, so the vector and the spring. And, so I'm just looking at the association, yes, and bringing back into being when we're talking about what I call to talk about is this system. So a place, a factory set up, bringing being into being, this project coming in, manufacturing, you start from scratch, get the material, again, water, It's needed to come into being, breaking down the minerals through the stone, whichever way, and who's drawing those references, right, and bringing it into being, and then it creates.
Yes.
Yes, these things what we have in our yard, which I would just use a simple form, yes? Not simple form. I say that's primary because it's primary because we need it in our home. We use it. We're talking about the pliers. We're talking about the rinse. Take the pliers. Take that. Take a scissors. It's got the hacksaw right inside of there. It has the vector movement inside of there. That then I say it's a system because we can see what I'm talking about. We need to name it for what it is. Because I'm not educated here. I was educated through school and college back home in Jamaica. So obviously my teachers are men. A lot of them are men. So the short the thing or the thing goes. We come from the Rasta, yes? So, there's a lot of things inside of that.
You've been blessed,
you need to call the thing as how it is. We don't want to polish nothing up for them.
What you know something?
Nothing for them.
One of the things I was talking with somebody else who's a teacher. She's a junior teacher, right? And she was talking about putting together a project to display some positive imagery of educated black men or black women within our society, and I highlighted the young man who was able to become a professor at the Cambridge University, right? At the age of, I think he's age of like 17, 18. Yeah. And he's a professor there now. And I said, it'd be good, to get in contact with this person here and see if he would do like a soundbite for your school, right? And even in that, and I think to myself, look at this young man, he only started to really pay attention to his education because I think he was autistic as well. And he paid his attention when he got to the age of like 12. And in that short period of time, he was able to focus and then achieve that status of professorship, right? So that he was invited to come and do some teaching within the university there. And I said,
his parents play a pivotal. Sorry, brother. His parents, not sorry, but just to mention, his parents, his family, the community played a pivotal role in that accomplishment.
Right.
Because without
guidance
by the parents, by their family, by the community, we don't know who he is. But the thing, well done to him.
Yeah, but the point. Hold on, just a moment, sis. Just a moment. In comparison to what my education was, right? The first time I actually came across a black teacher, right, or a teacher of color, was the music teacher, right? And he was accomplished musician anyway, and he was the first black teacher that I encountered, and that was when I was at the age of 11, right? The other black African descendant teacher, right? Well, he wasn't a teacher; he was a lab technician. So therefore, he would help to set up the classes, yeah. And that was my first encounter with another black man, and I would look at him and I think, wow, this man must be seriously intelligent, right? To be working as a teacher, right? Because we always used to refer to him as like sir, but he pointed out, because no, I'm a lab technician, but like for us, it was still a person who we respected because he was in that position, because we've never seen that within our school. We've never seen it. We've never seen a black teacher come into there. You understand? So and then like compared today now, that there are many like black teachers, black lecturers around, and I just give thanks that we are developing and evolving, and I do use that word quite often. We are evolving and making ourselves known throughout the whole of the education system, irrespective of the institutions which we have now. But I know that we as as an evolving culture and race of people, we will surpass the education system that is already here and is defunct already, because it is not fit for purpose. It is so behind, because there's another point I wanted to bring up this morning in my discussion, was the development of artificial intelligence, and highlighting how a lot of the functions of a lot of the human beings, right, it's been taken over by artificial intelligence.
Might I interject, brother? The artificial, what is known as artificial intelligence, AI, is not artificial in terms of as some intelligence just come and just make itself. This is created by human.
Exactly.
This is created by human. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
And they're programming the chip that again is all physics, the physics and chemistry, yes, and the mathematics and the electronics and so forth. That, as you say, the technician, the changes that's taken place. So to speak in the language that's wanted to be, okay, and this change in phase that is taking, that's becoming again here we talk. As you talk about evolution, evolving, and here we talk, and going back to what is called system. Is this not a system? This is a system. That is a system. What you speak of is a system. Now, where is the system developed? How is it developed? Which land? Because this is so many different, the old geography, yes, and the historical aspects surrounding, history and geography sits in everything right now, as we speak, right? So that is a system that's robotic, which is powered by solar, electric.
I've seen
powered
it
by solar.
I've seen it. I've seen it and experienced it myself, even in the trade that I was working in, right? How the vehicle manufacturing has been automated over the years.
Algorithms,
right. So like even for that, it's literally apart from a person actually getting in the vehicle and driving away, right? They literally are automating everything, and I've seen it decimate a working environment by where you would have usually like from the manual element of putting a vehicle together in a manufacturing environment to a totally automotive, you would usually there would be 30 people working on a section, and then it was down to 4, right? And imagine that right throughout the whole of the manufacturing process of the vehicles. In the end, you probably have 100 people working on a vehicle, whereas before you would have nearly 2,000. Right?
We charge them.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Charge them. Ecocide, genocide. We're dealing with reparation.
They're making the human being totally redundant. And even if you look also and pay attention, if you pay attention to a lot of the advertising, right? Manual labor is not there. All it's talking about is enjoyment of your wealth, right?
Let me ask a question, brother, before you go further.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You said they are making. You said they are making the redundant. So who are the they? What is it you're referring to, the they?
The businesses like the business owners, right? They're the ones who are making things automative, right? They're allowing things to be automative. Sorry?
The business owners.
Yeah.
Business owners. So you say it's bring down to 4 people.
Yeah.
Could you repeat that again? Talk about that old scenario. with what all the changes.
Right. What's happened? You would have like years ago when it was manual, when it was literally like manually put together. Like you, for instance, you're going to put a vehicle together now, right? You would have to manhandle the parts into the fixtures, right? The fixtures would hold it into a position, and then you would manually go around and weld it all together, right? Now what they have is that you would have the sheet come in, they press the actual panels out, right? And then the robots will cut it, lift it, put it into position, hold it into position, and then the robots will come and weld it all together. So therefore, the only person that is involved in that process really is the person who loads the roll of steel at the beginning. And then but within literally 10 minutes, you've got a complete vehicle at the end, barring all the electronics and the fixtures.
So they have a robotic system in place. This is a system again. Do you agree that it's a system, a robotic system?
Yep.
Replacing human manual working.
Yep.
And if you, I don't know where it is that you have seen this, but leave it there. We don't want to know, but it's in this country, correct?
No, this one was in first time I saw it like that I was in Cologne. I was in Cologne, Germany. Yeah. That was in Cologne. Yeah. And I stood there and I thought, wow, look at this.
So which means that if that's where you were at the time, that's where you were at the time, and you've seen it, it's rolled out all over in Europe.
Yeah.
Now that is a system, and that system must have had to be developed somewhere and where, and in what quantity, distribute. So here we are talking about distributive adjective now, because if that's where the distributive sits, and sure, it's coming from the Indo-European, Euro-Asian spaces of
the thing is
landmass,
but
right?
Watching that all manufacturing, right, is virtually majority is automotive. The majority of things, like even for foods preparation and everything else, is all automotive, right? Unless you go pick it out the ground yourself. Guaranteed.
So now we're talking about the system again. We agree that these are systems. Who put these in place? And what is the organization? So here we are. We want to name them. We need to know, our youth them need to know, not just the system, or we blame the system. There's so many different form of systems.
Yeah.
As we de-brainwashing.
Well, I would
the youth to think clearer.
I mean, like it has been.
Now we have to be careful how we choose our languages.
It has been said. It has been said already. It has been said already and indicated to. And this is the thing that some of us have to really pay attention to, right?
Yes.
We cannot be standing still, thinking that we're gonna be building and plowing the land like how we have done in 100 years ago, with the ox and donkey and all them type of thing there and all that. Listen, life progresses. What we have to do, we have to develop our skills so that we become efficient enough, right, to be part of the development.
Reparation. This is what we want. We need reparation, and it needs to.
Well, the thing is.
Hold on, my brother.
Right,
yeah,
right. Hold on. Remember, we've come to the top of the hour now. So
yes, so
I would like to go. All right, then.
There's something very important about developing our skill on the oxen. We can't do that anymore. It goes back to the land again. Do we have land? Who's acquiring the land that we should be there? Do we have land? Even if we were to really therefore and go to Africa, we only given 55 years in some places, and I'm sure right across Africa is the same way. Yes, our 99 years lease and so forth and so on. It's the same thing. What we're talking about, we need reparation to restore. You see, these to gain back the land, we need to acquire back our land. They need to hand it over, we pay them peanuts. We do compulsory purchase.
Well,
compulsory purchase. The caucasides come from the caucus mountain, whether they come from the mothers and father, whether they weren't satisfied with what their parents have. They need to go back to where they come from and build what they have, build themselves up. Yes.
But the thing is, they've taken that action. They've taken those types of actions in Rhodesia, right? They've done that. They've taken back land, and in parts of South Africa as well. They've taken land back in that way now. Now that they're changing the guard or the prime minister there, he wants to return it back to the white people, to say, oh, it was more profitable when they owned it.
What profitable?
Exactly.
Brother,
exactly.
So
but that's the
so
type of argument what they bring in.
You know,
that's the argument that they bring in. You understand?
Yes, and you talk about the land, you know, you talk about standing at the water, you talk about being there, you know, and the access. So without the access, you can't even stand at the water. In many of the islands now, in Jamaica, in many of the islands, you can't go to stand at the water. They buy the land, it's theirs, they own it. Because obviously they went in according to the doctrine of discovery, according to the doctrine of discovery. Or did they go in and we know that's what, as the elders they speak, what doctrine they come with now, right? What they did and what they have done will never go away. They have to deal with it. They have to deal, because to be LGBT is not our recompense. The elder said, that's not my recompense. That's not our recompense. You don't hear these words of recompense being used anymore. That's not our recompense. Yeah? That's not our recompense. We in the LGBT who are African, and they need land. So they better wake up and realize, you know, where is it?
All I know, those things are based on privilege and foolishness that they're talking about.
Exactly. Yeah. So they better wake up and see the reality. Because you don't have the land. We don't have the land. That's what they've removed and taken us after and understood, like the elder said, just throw us into the water. And get thrown into the water, somehow we survive and we, you know, what to hide. And here we are, because don't forget, they say that we never exist. They will ever get away from this now. They will never, their generation to the everything shall come straight back round to them. They have to deal with it at the table. The kings them have to deal with it. The queens them have to deal with it. Because there's no way. There's no way. You can tell who's being fooled. The young ones who are listening to this, the European, the Caucasoid and the Indian, them never mind to get the goal. So how is it them have value? They can have assets and in India, in Asia, in all them places, they're thieves. Yes, and when it comes to the Arab, don't you hear? Look at their names. You can see they even state who they are. They say they're Arab. They're a bunch of robbers.
Exactly. Black is black and white. Black is black and white is white. That's it. Right?
Exactly. This Arab, they robbed me. That's how we're talking about. Cool. Arab, me. So you know Arab.
Okay, listen, my sister, we come to the top of the hour and we have to go into the next section now.
Thanks, brother. I give thanks for this occasion, you know, of Galaxy, and that I'm here to share. And I had to cover up this, name it as it is.
Long time.
You are listening. This is no system. It's human. This is Caucasoid, either European, Asian. Yes, we call us monkey, but them is the animal. When you look on them is the animal. Yes, and wherever their mother and father did come from, their forefathers out of the Caucasoid, out of the Caucasus Mountain, they're animals. They are lower than the animals. They are lower than the dog and cat and cow and all that. Look at the behavior. They're thieves, they're vagabond, they like disease, they're the devil themselves. Sin. They are the sin of earth. They are the sin of earth because they don't even want to deal with reparation. They don't even want to deal with the racism and the victimization.
They're not entertaining that conversation unless they are the beneficiaries.
Beneficiary? There is no beneficiary here. The earth people is a beneficiary, and the wickedness what their elders have done, and they continue perpetrating it. All of them will continue perpetrating it. They said we were animals, we were monkey, we never exist. So all this thing about Adam and the Bible and the Bible and the harp and the Jews and that, they are the thieves. They are the animals. The Jews are the animals. The Jews, they are the animals. When you look at it, they're the one who created right. Even the greatest writers, the writers who hold the printing press are Jews. We have to deal with the reality.
All right, listen.
With the reality. They sit inside capitalism. Everywhere they can't hide. We have to deal with the reality. We have to deal with the truth.
All right, listen. I am late now into the meditation session now.
This is not a meditation, man. Today is a powerful day because my brother, they're watching the sun a lot, you know. They say there's a soul, they watch the sun a lot.
Well, they better do. That's why they run. That's why they run from it. That's why they run from it because it burn out the truth out of them.
It's burning. Yes, why are you watching the sun? We are all human. Yes, we come from Earth here. We are Earth people. Why are you watching the sun? That's the way you're watching it.
All right, then listen. I have to do the next section now. Okay. Thank you for calling in this morning, and we could talk again soon. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
We say praises be to our ancestors. We say praises be to the Most High. We say Rastafari.
All right.
Rasta, because I Most High is a nutty. It doesn't look on earth. You have to look on earth and see the real reality. Then who's the Almighty? There must be Rasta. There must have Rasta here. Blessed love, yes.
Okay.
Love.
Bless up. Thank you once again for joining us. Right. As you can hear, we're going into the next section now, and in our going into our next section, we're going into our midday meditation here. We've unloaded. That's the whole point of the morning segment anyways, to unload, to recenter ourselves, make some sense out of this nonsense, to prepare ourselves so that we can move in a upright and powerful way into the next segment of the day. At the highest point of the day, we give acknowledgement to all that is and all that was and all that is to come. Yes, we could do it symbolically, physically, through our libations, but we give ourselves and ourselves to the learning and the teachings. So at this time here, let's go for our inner conversation with ourselves, with the midday meditation. This is the time that we take time to actually go within ourselves, to develop that inner conversation with that voice from within, or that feeling from within. Give acknowledgement to it, ease it off. Give thanks for giving you the lessons. If it's there and it's causing you a dis-ease, give it time and say thank you, and then just let it ease off. Release all your tensions from wherever you're feeling the pain, so that to the extent that it melt away. So let's go into our midday meditation, and it starts with the power of our breath.
Them love we know, Say them can't really stand up in our body. We know. They know the truth is written all on their faces. We know. That one day everything will change for the better. We know. Them said them love way, but still them fight way. Jah know them can't stop way. In front of you, them smile with you, walk on like say them rate you. About bite of them we want you. So we not take no hype from the man. Nah, take no talk from no man. Nah, take no promise from no man. They'll never let you know the truth of why they come around you. Yeah, and now everyone where they amongst you, really there with you. So don't you be. We'll stay with you when things not up with you. Because the minute that you fall instantly, them cut left you. Who'll be there to help you rise again? No one but Jah alone, my friend. Beware of friend and company. Them will turn out the breeze, yeah. Them said them love way, but still them fight way. Jah know they can't stop way. In front of you, them smile with you, walk on like say them rate you. About bite of them we want you. So we not take no hype from the man. Nah, take no talk from the man. Nah, take no promise from the man. They'll never let you know the truth of why they come around you. Be wise and watch the ones who hype you up and say you're great. Be the fans up and tell you lie to your peers, yeah. And tell you things where you already know. Out yourself like say you are cool and alone, yeah. Them all have an agenda, not to benefit you. And when you realize, say it's you and you alone, yeah. You will say that we do, yeah. Them said them love way, but still them fight way. Jah know them can't stop way. In front of you, them smile with you, walk on like say them rate you. About bite of them we want you. So we not take no hype from the man. Nah, take no talk from the man. Nah, take no promise from the man. They'll never let you know the truth of why they come around you.
Some will come around and say the things they think will please you. Some will come and go like leaves on a summer tree, yeah. Some will come just to sow bad seeds, yeah. Telling you it's roses when they know it's only weeds, yeah.
Them said them love way, but still them fight way. Jah know them can't stop way. In front of you, them smile with you, walk on like say them praise you. About bite of them we want you. So we not take no hype from the man. Nah, take no talk from the man. Nah, take no promise from the man. They'll never let you know the truth of why they come around you.
Oh yeah, DJ Frost and Magan Heritage, yeah. Whoa, CTBC again, yeah.
Yes, our power of our breath. By holding and releasing. Holding and releasing. We learn to relax. We are in control. Powers.
People talk, that's what they do. But they don't understand. Home is still a push and go through. Yes, they laugh. They call me names, but they just don't get it. Oh, them see me, I hold my head up just the same. When them see me, them just keep on talking. Me not see them, I just keep on walking. I got my pride. Me not go show my bad side. Some of them see me as a big pushover. Left me for dead and think I'm gonna kill over. Oh no, not I. I and I will survive. Never let them get you down. Never let them see you frown. Never let them take away your liberty. Live your life and be free. Never let them get you down. Never let them see you frown. Never let them lead you astray. Starting today, live your life and live it your way. When you go through heartache, when you're feeling pain, when you end up in a desert and I wonder why the hell it not rain. When them pass them judgments on every word left a stain. When them talk up the things them just to mash up your life and give you bad name. Them think you're weak, but I less of them blunder. Bad mind and think them left your business asunder. Don't give them that power. Show them you can be stronger. Just take up yourself and make the whole of them wonder how you get up when them a try keep you under. Don't believe their lies. Show them that you will rise. Never let them get you down. Never let them see you frown. Never let them see you frown. Never let them lead you astray. Starting today, live your life your way. I say, people talk. That's what they do. But they don't understand. Home is still our push and the truth. Yes, they laugh. Some call me next. But they just don't get it. Or them see me, I hold my head up just the same. When them see me, them just keep on talking. I mean, I see them, I just keep on walking. I got my pride. Man, I go show my bad side. Some of them see me as a big pushover. Let me fit dead and think I'm gonna kill over. Oh no, not I. I and I will survive. Never let them get you down. Never let them see you frown. Never let them take away your liberty. Live your life and be free. Never let them get you down. Never let them see you frown. Never let them lead you astray. Starting today, live your life your way. Never let them get you down. Never let them see you frown. Never let them take away your liberty. Live your life and be free. Never let them get you down. Never let them see you frown. Never let them take away your liberty. Live your life and be free. Get you down. Oh, no, 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 no. Don't let them get you down. No, 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 no. I got my pride. I got my pride. I'm standing firm. I'm standing firm. Stronger. They can't do me like that. What? Miss that.
Yes, the midday meditation here on the galaxyofwe.net. The powers that we have within ourselves. I'm just gonna do some things here. I just want to try and make sure that we're getting this properly here, so because it'd be an injustice if I don't try and make this thing sound proper, so better.